People say, it doesn't make sense. He's a billionaire, from New York, no less. And everything he sits on is gold. How could he possibly connect with the common man? And yet he keeps winning more of them. Trump got trounced by black voters in 2016, so he brought in some muscle from the West Coast, someone he knows black men love, Kim Kardashian. Should Kamala Harris run for California governor in 2026 after polls show her leading? I'm going to give that a big no.
Yeah. She's had her chance several times.
She should run far, far away.
Yeah, I think Kamala Harris would make a great president of a university.
Back with some fundamental stuff. I say rather articulately.
So let's just cut straight to it. People love to scratch their heads and say, how in the world does Donald Trump, a billionaire from New York, who probably hasn't eaten a $1.50 hot dog from Costco in decades, manage to connect with the average American? On paper, it shouldn't make sense. Everything the guy owns is dipped in gold. He's literally the last person you'd expect to resonate with the so-called common man, and yet he keeps winning them over, again and again. Meanwhile, Kamala Harris, you know, the person who was supposed to be the future of the Democratic Party, can't even win over her own base. And recently, Bill Maher, of all people, ripped into her with the kind of brutal honesty that Democrats usually reserve for Republicans. Honestly, watching Maher shred Kamala was like watching an overdue roast that had been building for years. Painful, but oh so necessary. Now here's where things get interesting. Back in 2016, Trump got absolutely smoked with black voters. It wasn't even close. So what did he do? He didn't sulk. He didn't point fingers. He didn't hide behind excuses. He actually did something bold. He brought in muscle from the West Coast, Kim Kardashian of all people, because Trump understands something Kamala Harris has never figured out. Politics isn't just about policies, it's about connection. It's about reaching into communities, sometimes in unexpected ways, and making people feel like you're listening. Now fast forward, and you've got folks asking whether Kamala should run for California governor in 2026 since polls show her leading. And Bill Maher's answer? A big fat no. Not maybe, not let's see, but a flat out run far, far away. And honestly, he's not wrong. She's had chance after chance, and every time she drops the ball. Maher joked she'd be better off as a university president, where word salads and vague speeches actually work. And you know what? He's got a point. Let's pause here for a second, because this is where the Trump comparison hits hardest. Trump runs his office like that kid in 8th grade who promises more snow days if he's elected class president. Totally unrealistic, right? But here's the kicker. Elections are won on the margins. It's the little things that make people feel like you get it. Trump somehow gets this. He hammers away on everyday frustrations. Shower pressure, light bulbs, low-flow toilets. Stuff politicians wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole because it sounds ridiculous. And yet, for millions of voters, it lands. It matters.
Trump runs for office like that kid in 8th grade who ran for school president on a pledge of more snow days. Okay, I was that kid. Now, could I actually make it snow more? No, but elections are won on the margins by a coalition of little things that hit people personally. Trump gets this. He feels your pain in the
Now compare that to Kamala. She ran on saving democracy, which, let's be honest, is the most important issue there is. But here's the problem. She couldn't sell it. She couldn't connect it to people's actual lived experiences. And that's the fundamental difference. Trump sells politics like it's a primetime TV show. Kamala sells it like she's giving a dull seminar at 8 a.m. on a Monday. Which one are people going to remember? And here's the genius of Trump. He doesn't just win over supporters, he wins over critics.
Kamala ran on democracy, which is the most important issue. But without the political skill to sell it, it added up to nothing. Meanwhile, Trump was running on, I'll make the poop go down. He never shut up about bad shower pressure, shitty light bulbs, and low-flow toilets. Not exactly ask not what your country can do for you, but for some little niche group, it was all that mattered. He's right. It shouldn't take 2 flushes to make my shit go away. That's my guy, YMCA. everybody.
Bill Maher himself admitted that Trump's unorthodox approach was far more effective than anything Kamala has ever put on the table. Think about that. Trump invites his critics to dinner. He drags them into the spotlight with him. He flips the script so that suddenly even his enemies are part of his narrative. Kamala, she couldn't pull that off if her career depended on it, which actually it does. Let's talk celebrities for a minute. Kamala leaned on Hollywood like it was her personal crutch. She trotted out big names, scripted endorsements, and thought it would carry weight. Spoiler alert, it didn't, because it all felt elitist, detached, and fake. Trump, on the other hand, knew exactly how to use celebrities. He didn't just parade them around, he wove them into his brand, whether it was Lil Wayne, Kanye, or even Snoop Dogg, throwing shade one week and then tipping their hat the next. Trump turned cultural icons into megaphones for his message. That's how you bypass the political bubble and get your ideas out to the everyday voter.
People say, it doesn't make sense. He's a billionaire, from New York no less, and everything he sits on is gold. How could he possibly connect with the common man? And yet he keeps winning more of them. Trump got trounced by black voters in 2016, so he brought in some muscle from the West Coast, someone he knows black men love, Kim Kardashian.
And then came the masterstroke, the pardons, Lil Wayne, Kodak Black, the CEO of Jay-Z's company, the founder of Death Row Records, even a former Detroit mayor. Trump wasn't just checking boxes, he was making a bold, symbolic play. He knew exactly how it would land in the black community. That move doubled his support in 2020 compared to 2016. Did he win the black vote? Number, but he clawed away enough in Philly, Detroit, Milwaukee to make a serious dent. That's the kind of political street smarts Kamala could only dream of.
Together, they passed the First Step Act, which scaled back restrictions on felons, a connection he built on in 2024 by becoming one. And then he pardoned Lil Wayne, and pardoned Kodak Black, and the CEO of Jay-Z's company, and the founder of Death Row Records, and the former mayor of Detroit. So it's not surprising that Kanye, and Wayne, and Chris Brown, and Amber Rose, and Snoop, and DaBaby all talked him up. That last one out of professional courtesy.
And now Trump's onto marijuana legalization. Yeah, you heard that right. The same issue Bill Maher has been pounding the table for years about. If Trump pulls this off, he'll not only cement his legacy, he'll lock in support from an entire subculture of voters who never thought they'd tip their hats to him. And remember, he can't even run in 2028. He doesn't need to do this, but he's doing it anyway, because that's how you keep influence. That's how you stay at the center of the national conversation.
I told you so. I've been telling Democrats for years the Republicans are going to steal pot from you as an issue, and now Trump says,
We're looking at reclassification, and we'll make a determination.
what'd you expect? He is the master at winning votes from small groups who are passionate about one issue, picking up a couple percent here, a couple there, until on election night it's YMCA.
Kamala, meanwhile, she's busy giving speeches at conferences where she has zero expertise, tossing out more word salads that leave audiences confused at best and laughing at worst. And let's not forget the border. That was her big assignment, her shot to show leadership, competence, authority, and she blew it. Instead of stepping up, she froze. Instead of solving problems, she deflected. For many Americans, that was her audition for the presidency, and she bombed it. Bill Maher said it straight. She had a bad 3 years. 3 years of missed chances. That's not just one bad night. That's a career-ending stretch.
In 3 years as vice president, she's been quieter than an electric car. Sometimes life isn't fair. It's not fair that she's not popular. She's intelligent and accomplished, and in fact was put in charge of the border. And look at how... Okay, bad example.
Now, is Kamala smart? Of course. Is she accomplished? Absolutely. But politics isn't about resumes. It's about perception. And the perception of Kamala Harris is clear. She's inauthentic, uninspiring, and unelectable. She wasn't chosen by voters. She was handpicked by the DNC, and the public has never let her forget it. So when people ask, should Kamala run for governor in 2026? The answer is obvious. Number, she shouldn't even run for class treasurer. She should run far, far away from politics altogether.
Harris would be the first woman president, first black woman president, and first Asian president. But I don't vote for who will be the first. I vote for who will win. And for whatever reason, Harris has never been popular. You can count the number of delegates she won in the 2020 primaries on one hand, as long as that hand has no finger.
But here's the real kicker, and this is where Bill Maher's critique goes beyond Kamala herself. If not her, then who? The names being floated by the DNC are just as uninspiring. AOC, Bernie Sanders, Gavin Newsom, none of them resonate with everyday Americans. They all represent different shades of the same problem: elitist, out-of-touch politics that collapse under real-world pressure. That's the real danger for the Democratic Party. They're recycling the same tired faces and expecting a different outcome. That's not strategy, that's insanity. And if they keep it up, they're not just risking 2028, they're digging their own grave, accelerating their slide into political irrelevance. At the end of the day, Bill Maher didn't say anything most Americans don't already know. Kamala Harris is not presidential material. Her failures as VP only made it worse. And the scary truth for Democrats is that their bench isn't any deeper. If the DNC doesn't change course, they're in for a brutal wake-up call.
Should Kamala Harris run for California governor in 2026 after polls show her leading? I'm going to give that a big no.
She's had her chance several times.
She should run far, far away.
Yeah, I think Kamala Harris would make a great president of a university.
Back with some fundamental stuff. I say rather articulately.
And that's where I want to hear from you. Do you agree with Bill Maher that Kamala should just bow out gracefully and run far away? Or do you think she actually has a shot at redemption? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm really curious where you land on this one. And hey, if you've made it this far, you clearly enjoy these deep dives. So go ahead and hit that like button, smash subscribe, and ring that bell so you don't miss the next one. Because trust me, this conversation is just heating up.